Yeah. So you can bet that 90% of players are going to have these issues going on, and our idea is to try and resolve this and sort this out. So what I was saying about the relative nature of things is that almost all your players are going to have an anterior pelvic tilt. What that means is the front of the pelvis is lower than the back of the pelvis, giving a tip downwards. So we'll start with the active stretching. So these exercises, basically you're doing around about 10 to 12 reps per exercise, and then 1 to 3 sets depending how stiff you are on an exercise. So this one here, clapping the hands really works the chest. A lot of players are very stiff, so they want to do a couple sets more on this. So you can see we've got 12 exercises to go through, 4 for the upper body region. Then we've got 4 for the midsection. So you can see here, taking the foot over from hand to hand. You can see the stiffness through the front, through my thighs, by the way they're lifting off the floor. Remember, never push these. These aren't about pushing these. These are about just going gently to loosen up the body. So here I'm taking my foot over, and again it's just loosening up the body. It doesn't matter if you get your foot to the other side. Ideally, into static stretching. So we're opening out on the ankles. So we should feel this on the outside here as it's beginning to loosen up that joint. Then we should feel this on the inside. The key thing is you're not feeling it around the knee. The problem we have is the ankles are locked, which we've talked about, and as a result of them being locked, it means the knee is more likely to bend when you do these exercises. So now when it comes to stretching the thigh muscles, again, people, it's an obvious, simple stretch, but what we want to do is make it difficult. So to make it difficult, you can focus on bringing your foot to the outside of your thigh rather than the inside, or in your bum, should I say. That'll make it more difficult. Likewise, don't allow the player to tip his foot downwards. Make sure his foot is up, and then that means he has to have an extra 2 inches of flexibility. The groins are an important muscle to stretch because of the way they pull the pelvis downwards. So again, you can see the technique here, just getting in at the groin, the inside of the thigh. Avoid sitting back too much, because sitting back will just get into the hamstring stretch. So here we're coming through we're looking for how to do the warm-up. These are just skips to start us off. So we're just coming through some skips, then we're into some straight lunges. So these 6 drills or so are just there to get us loose, ready for the sprint session ahead. Because if it's a cold day, you've just done your active stretching, now you're into these exercises. So we started off with some skipping, simple skipping, then some straight lunging, and now we're into some diagonal lunging. So then we've got the warm-ups and agilities that we'll go into. So the first warm-up you can see here is pretty comfortable. I'm not really breaking a stress. Then I'm going to do this agility drill here when I'm going back and forwards across the line as fast as I can. That is charging up the nervous system. Then I'm back to a sprint. You can see a little bit quicker. Then I'm back on the line, this time side to side. Obviously this is done on, normally you do this on the pitch where you're doing the sprints, but for ease of video purposes, I've split the 2 up. Then you would come into the third sprint, third run through, and now you should be getting quicker and quicker because you're feeling more loose, more natural. And then the final agility exercise is one leg just going left or right of a line. These really fire up the nervous system so that you're ready to run and ready to run quick. And then we're here, last warm-up sprint, and then we're ready to roll whatever's got in the session again. So 3 to 4 warm-up sprints depending how you feel, and then that should get you prepared for anything else in the session. So final thing to look at is the foam roller. So